AMC stock is breaking out yet again today, up 6.62% at the time of recording this video at around that 2 o'clock time frame. Now, what is happening on a technical basis? Looking beautiful. We broke out above the 100-day moving average, but there is a good reason why AMC stock is actually breaking out, and I think that is very exciting, as well as the volume. We're actually moving up a very considerable amount over the last couple of trading days, but the volume isn't that high. So when you see rallies off of low volume, that is really indicative of a lot of buying pressure, not necessarily shorts covering a gamma squeeze or anything else, which yes, we are looking to expect that, in my personal opinion, as we are now over $15 per share. So we have a lot to cover in a very short amount of time. As always, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in, and let's get straight into it. So why AMC is actually rallying? There's been a lot of good things over the last couple of days, right? Adam Aaron on Thursday, that's when the stock rallied 15.19% last Thursday. He came out and basically gave us like a cryptic message. You really had to go back to the last earnings call to understand what he was saying by the win pounce tweet. If you watch me, then you know exactly that whole situation. But long story short, he basically said on the last earnings call that they will pounce, they will crush the shorts, but only when the time is right. And he said, you know, win pounds literally during the earnings call, and he just said it again. Read between the lines, earnings come out on the 4th. So I think people are expecting a lot of good news, and I think very rightfully expecting a lot of good news, right? So there you have that. That's what kind of started all of this. But AMC stock just delivered two big catalysts. AMC Entertainment revealed two catalysts today. That included a strong performance over the weekend. It's also partnering with Uber Eats for snack delivery. So I think this could be big, especially around big city areas. Unfortunately, for somewhere like Michigan, there's not too many AMC theaters. So you know, it's not going to be a whole cross-country kind of thing. Some places are going to do better with this than not, but it's going to add, I think, a considerable amount of revenue when you're taking into consideration, you know, the popcorn. That just sounds really good, right? Order yourself some popcorn, put the powder stuff on it, you know, get yourself some popcorn from AMC. It sounds good, right? So I think that is a very bullish thing, obviously, but the strong performance over the last weekend was something that is really big on a fundamental level. So you can see right here, Adam Aaron says, this was AMC's most attended / highest grossing weekend in 2022 so far. More than 5.9 million guests joined us globally. Admissions revenue about double the same weekend of 2021 and 12% above 2019 pre-pandemic. To industry doubters who predict extinction of theaters, #choke on that. So I think that is really key. 12% above 2019 pre-pandemic. That is showing that, hey, AMC, throughout all of this shit in the markets, Apple and other companies that are likely going to miss earnings, well, AMC is probably going to excel in a way that people are not expecting. So I think that is starting to get priced into the markets a little bit more and getting priced into AMC stock. So rightfully so, we are rallying. Now, the big thing for tomorrow, which will really either help solidify this rally or potentially, you know, put a little hamper on this rally, is going to be the CPI report that comes out tomorrow. CPI comes out at 8:30 in the morning, so make sure you guys have finalized all your trades if you are looking to make any trades. What the CPI report is going to do, obviously, tell us the inflation rate for June. People are going to pay attention to this number. It's expected to come out at 8.8%. The previous high we got was 8.6%. That's what caused the S&P 500 to come down in a very massive way, about 12-13% from the highs to the lows. Now we've bounced up roughly, let's go ahead and draw a trend line here. we've bounced up about 6%. So we do have some meat on the bone to give that back. If CPI comes in at a new 2022 high, I do think you will see some downside pressure. You could say the good thing about this is that we do have very high expectations. We expect it to come in 0.2% higher than last month, and that it was the highest reading. But if it comes in higher than 8.8 or even on 8.8%, the markets are probably going to freak out. Now, the thing that this is really going to affect that will freak the markets out, in my opinion, is the probability of a 1% rate hike. So right now, we still only have a 7.6% chance of a 1% rate hike, a 92.4% chance of a 75 basis point rate hike. If we get high CPI and we get high PPI coming the day after, which will be Thursday, and that's right here, that is producer price inflation, and we get good retail sales, like people are going out and still spending money, you're going to see that 1% rate hike probably solidified in the markets, and that is what the Fed is going to do, whatever this is telling you. So you could see a rapid reevaluation of expectations coming tomorrow based off of whatever that CPI report actually is. So I think that is the biggest thing. That is really what we all need to pay very, very close attention to. But also for currently, the yield curve is still inverted, right? So this is the longest the yield curve has been inverted in a very long time. I believe you have to go back to 08 to see a yield curve that was this deep inverted for this long. So that is obviously causing some fear. We do have, as you guys know, if you follow this channel, the dollar is still strengthening. UUP just hit a new high today, 28.92. Down just a little bit now, 0.21% on the day, which if this falls, it's going to be a bullish thing, right? If this continues to rally, it's not going to be so good. And if CPI comes in high and, markets start to expect more rate hikes, well, the dollar is going to strengthen more because the Fed is tightening liquidity even more. So there you have that. Watch UUP or DXY. Watch the dollar ETFs. Watch how the dollar is essentially being valued, because when the dollar strengthens, global currencies are weakening. And why global currencies weaken is because people are fearful about growth. People are fearful about a recession. So keep all of that in mind. Something on a more weird note, founders of bankrupt crypto hedge fund 3AC go missing as investors try to recoup assets. Well, ain't that convenient? Probably went to a no extradition country. Who knows about that? But definitely not a good situation that we're seeing. That's actually the main headline over here on CNBC. Markets are pretty flat on the day, just expecting and waiting for that CPI report. Now, specifically with AMC stock, if we go ahead to the Stock O tracker data and we go ahead and see how many options are still currently on the option chain, if it ever loads, we do have about 474,000 contracts on the call side that are out of the money, 102,000 calls that are currently in the money, 62,000 puts that are in the money. So all of this option activity is helping AMC stock to go up today, and we still have a lot more dry powder that potentially could come in and continue to push AMC stock even higher than that, right? 474,000 calls. That's a lot, and we do have specifically about 46,000 calls. Last time I checked, we'll go ahead and double check here again. 50,000, almost 51,000 calls at the $20 strike. That if they go into the money, that's 5 million shares right there. Market makers would have to go out and buy. That is a substantial amount. So if we got above 15, like I said, that could help push us all the way up to 20. It really depends on the CPI report, but it does look better than not. The fact that AMC is up today and it's actually holding up in the way that it is, it definitely looks better than not. Can we just say that? Can we say it looks better than not? Are people gonna freak out? I do personally think that we're looking at a gamma squeeze that is coming, even if the markets do fall in a big way. The markets actually hit their 2022 lows. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. On June 17th, and AMC stock was actually up 6.28% on June 17th. So there you guys have all of that information. The GDP Now Atlanta Fed GDP Now tracker, still latest estimate of negative 1.2%. That's going to be important for the end of July 27th. That's where the Fed raises rates. July 28th is when you get advanced estimates for Q2 GDP, potentially confirming we are in a technical recession, and we have earnings coming all throughout that whole week. And that's what is going to be most important, in my personal opinion, even besides anything else, besides a recession, inflation, all those fears. It really comes down to earnings, because think about it. If earnings were good, no matter if you have a recession or inflation, valuations will only go down so much. But if you start to get inflation concerns, recession concerns, and earnings are bad, well, that's where it's very hard to find a floor. It's very hard to, even get a bottom in that scenario until you get a really big flush out event. And given where the margin debt currently is, you could be looking at a pretty big flush out event. Now for tomorrow, actually for today, we had PepsiCo. And their earnings were decent. After hours, we don't really have anything else. Wednesday, you do have a Delta, so that is going to be tomorrow morning. But on Thursday, you get JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, TSMC, Ericsson, Conagra, Cintas, First Republic Bank, or Organigram. And that's pretty much it. American Outdoor Brands Thursday after hours. On Friday, you do have United Health Group, Wells Fargo, Citi, Progressive, BlackRock, PNC, US Bancorp, BNY Mellon, and State Street. A lot of banks and a lot of financials. And we're probably going to get an update to that stress test to see as well how much capital they actually have to put up in their reserves, how good they're doing in that regard. How much can they actually handle as far as an economic downturn? We're probably going to figure more of that out coming here shortly. Now, take a look at this. June 30th, settlement date did come in for short interest for the exchange, and it was released today. It was 19.67%, 101.38 million shares that were sold short. So obviously this 17.67% estimated short interest of free float is currently wrong. Free float out on loan estimated to be 26.88%. Shares out on loan 138.56 million. Days to cover 3.4. Cost to borrow 12.86. 100% share utilization. All of that looking good. Cost to borrow rate at 17.61%. Cost to borrow average at 11.38%. Cost to borrow minimum is actually negative, but you got to take that with a huge grain of salt. These numbers, cost to borrow average at over 10%, sitting at 11.38%, is still very, very big. Now, the option activity is definitely stealing the shine today, or stealing the show, whatever wordage you want to put on it. We have 23 orders totaling 2.67 million, positive order value of 96%. It almost makes you think maybe somebody knows something, and maybe somebody knows there is this gamma squeeze that is coming. But nonetheless, it looks like a lot of option activity around July 22nd, a lot of call activity, pretty big ways too. This order is almost $1 million. This order is almost $1 million. July 15th, $13 call. July 29th, $13 call as well. A lot of people are getting very excited, it looks like, from the option activity for AMC stock over the next couple of weeks. So we'll see how all of this does hash out. On a technical basis, like I said previously, you are in a very beautiful situation. You broke out above the 100-day moving average, and you are finding support there. You're not really coming down even to test that. Even if we do by the end of the day, I think we will hold above this moving average, and that puts us into a really good spot heading into the next couple of trading days, especially with this gamma squeeze. And the volume is very low. I mean, even yesterday, you were up almost 2%, only on 32.5 million shares that traded hands. For today, 41 million shares that have currently traded hands, but you're up 6.67% currently. So I think this is a really, really good sign. The RSI is at 64.49, which is, not it could be better. You want to see this lower when the stock price is going up, but still not looking all too bad. The MACD is looking really, really bullish. So that is pretty much going to be all for this video. Leave your commentary, thoughts, concerns, questions down below in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time. Link down below in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.